Take 12. What's up, Bridge students? I'm Charlie, one of the student directors here at the Bridge, and we are so excited to be here for another week of Where Are You Now? This series where we ask God, where are you now? Because sometimes in life we have these questions, and last week we talked about when God speaks, we want to listen. We want to write that down because we don't want to forget what He's saying. And then we just kind of ended last week on this idea of just waiting. Just wait. And we broke up this series this way intentionally because waiting is difficult. And so this week we're going to focus in on that idea. See, we don't want to be a people that just fast forwards to the answer. Besides the fact that we can't do that, we want to wait on God's plan because God cares about us. And through this text and all throughout Scripture, I think we're going to see that to be true. My entire life, I've always felt like I've had better plans than God, and though I may not say that out loud, it showed in the choices I made and the things that I did. See, when I was in high school, I would rush from one relationship to the next, just these harsh, rash decisions. This idea to wait on marriage for sex just didn't seem to apply to me. I had a better plan than God, and everything I did was all about what could please me in the moment, what was the best decision for then and now, and waiting on an answer, you gotta be kidding me. I wasn't gonna wait on anything. I remember this one time I was a freshman in college, and I wanted to go get my ears pierced because, I don't know, it seemed cool. And so I went to Walmart because that's where you should get your ears pierced. And I'm sitting down, I'm like, wait, maybe I should ask my dad. So I call, hey Dad, yo, what's up? I'm thinking about getting my ears pierced. What do you think? And I remember this day what he said to me. He said, son, I trust you. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to pray about it and wait on God to answer you. And whatever God leads you to, in time, I know that'll be the decision you make. I was like, Dad, thanks so much. All right, dude, bye. Click. I get on the phone, I'm like, pierce them, man. I was so pumped, just jumped right into it. No waiting, like let's do this. And so a few months later when I asked my dad, hey Dad, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo. He did not say wait on an answer from God. He just told me no because he knew that I wasn't willing to wait on anything. And if you survey your life, I bet you can find things you're waiting on. Some of them are silly, like getting your ears pierced or possibly getting your first tattoo, but some of them are serious. We find ourselves waiting on things like a relationship because everyone around us has a boyfriend or girlfriend. Why am I not in a relationship? Or we find ourselves waiting on friends. Why am I so alone? God, where are you now? Why am I waiting on this? Where are our friends? Or maybe you're waiting on your dad to come home because at some point he left and he's never returned and you're just waiting on him to come back. Or you're waiting on your parents' relationship to just be right because your parents, your mom, your dad, they're always arguing, they're always angry, and you're waiting on there to be something different. You're waiting on your siblings to grow up because they're annoying and obnoxious, and if maybe they were a little more mature, it wouldn't be so annoying, and you're just waiting on something. And most of the things we find ourselves waiting on, let's be honest, is difficult because waiting sucks. You're trying to wait until marriage for sex, but the world is telling you to do something different because waiting is not normal. Waiting is not fun, but honestly, waiting is normal. And if we look at Scripture, the book of Habakkuk we've been studying through, the verse you just heard, we see we aren't the only ones waiting. Because see, Habakkuk came to God and said, God, where are you now? We are your people. Won't you take care of us? And God says, wait, because my time is coming. He said, but God, look, the Babylonians, our enemies, those people that destroy your people, their lives are good. Their lives are wonderful. Their lives are all put together. God, why are we still waiting? And we see that God says to him, he's like, you don't understand, just keep waiting. And Habakkuk, that was hard to understand. Because see, if they were the chosen people of God, why wasn't God there? And some of you probably think that right now, like, God, I'm a Christian. God, I'm at church. God, I read my Bible. God, I memorize the Bible. God, I pray in the lunchroom. God, I invite people to church. I am your people. Where are you now? Why aren't you here? If I'm your people, why aren't you here? I'm doing what I'm supposed to. God, where are you now? I want to read to you the passage you just heard, but from a different version. One that has some words that might stick out to you a little different. Habakkuk 2:3. But these things I plan won't happen right away. Slowly, steadily, surely the time approaches when the vision will be fulfilled. If it seems slow, do not despair, for these things will surely come to pass. Just be patient. They will not be overdue a single day. God is telling Habakkuk, God is telling us, just wait, be patient. And that's really hard to hear. The version you first heard said the words, wait on the appointed time. That word in the original language means moed. Y'all say it with me, moed. That's it. Moed didn't only just mean appointed time, it meant the perfect timing. And God's perfect timing doesn't always make sense to us. One of the things that's been most exciting to wait for in my life was the birth of my children. But as the days draw near, you get anxious. You can't seem to wait. Because see, the baby's supposed to come at 40 weeks, but sometimes it can go a little longer. As I film this video right now, my wife and I, we are waiting on the birth of our fourth child. But when you're watching this video, check it out. Our fourth child is here, because waiting on the perfect timing produces awesome things. But the perfect timing sometimes can just be exhausting. Those last few moments, you never know how long they're gonna last. Waiting can be difficult, but in the perfect timing, waiting is worth it. We see in Acts 16 that Paul was waiting on God to rescue him. Paul was in a prison with Silas, but while he was waiting, you know what Paul did? It says they were singing praise, worship songs. They were praying, not for where they were, but for what they knew God would do in their life. See, we're not waiting without any hope. We're waiting with hope because God's perfect plan will come. You see, if it's not God's time, we can't force it. And if it is God's time, we can't stop it. So in the meantime, we just wait. Let's keep reading in Habakkuk. Verse 4, it says, behold, his soul, the enemy, the Babylonians, his soul is puffed up. It is not upright within him, but the righteous shall live by faith. You know what this verse teaches us? It teaches us that we don't have to know the answer. We don't have to know the perfect timing or the perfect plan. So we survey our lives and we look around, and the school bully, the boyfriend that betrayed you and made fun of you, your friends that are no longer your friends, their lives are together and yours is a mess. But guess what? It doesn't matter. See, we don't live our lives based off what we see around us. We live our lives by faith because Scripture made a promise to us. In Romans 8:28, it says, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good. God made us a promise. So we have faith in that promise that those things good will come to pass. See, God's delays, they're not denials. See, it is faith that God is working all things for good. And here's the tough part. Is for good. It may not be the same picture that you and I have painted in our heads. It may not be the story that you think your life will become. It may not be the path you believe you will take. See, all things good doesn't mean always what we think it means, but we have faith that God cares about us, that God is working for us. In Habakkuk, the people of that time, they believed this to be true. See, waiting isn't the end. Wondering, the first thing we hit, that can be hard. Listening to writing, okay, we can do that, but waiting is difficult because we don't know what will come to pass. But waiting isn't the end. See, there's an end to the story. There's things that are coming. There's things that God has promised to His people. But while we're here, we'll wait. And just one note of encouragement as you leave from here, those of you waiting on the perfect person to make you whole and complete, single is a whole number. You don't need someone else in your life to complete you. See, Jesus has done everything we need. So we don't wait because we have some physical real answer in front of us. We wait because we know that Jesus has made us a promise.